question. Who in the godforsaken mind will actually end up in a place like Rio de Janeiro in the height of the Bacchanal in Trinidad? Which artists and how?
Me. I got the call, I got a message saying, listen, would you be interested in doing Brazil Carnival? And it was actually a place called Bahia in Brazil. And I was like,
That's
whatever.
what Rhoda sing about? This girl from Bahia.
This girl from Bahia. Right, so that same place. So I get the call, I say, okay. Then they were like to me, Joocie, we were to go there for 2 weeks.
Whoa.
I say, nah. No, that's too long for me. They say, could you do 9 days? I said, nope, it's too long. Because usually 2 days is max for me, 2-3 days max.
Yeah.
When I do these shows, it's a day either before, the day of the show, and then I leave the day after.
Yeah.
Right? I don't really like
Sticking
being there
around
and
them.
sticking
Just
around.
doing nothing.
And doing nothing.
Yeah.
And they say, well, no, there's an artist that we want you to work with who is, he has like 4 million followers on Instagram. Like, he's huge in Brazil.
Yeah.
His face is plastered everywhere. And he's only available on this Tuesday night. So we want you to come in from that day and stay for 2 weeks. I say, well, unfortunately, that ain't gonna happen. So tell my boy, I say, if you want the stems for the band, I could send that, or I could do it tracks. Easy. Again, I set in my premise here because I know, what I can do and what it is. Anyway, going across there, the flight was long. It was so long. We had to go from London to Portugal, then change from Portugal to go over there. But it was one of the most mind-blowing experiences of my life. The size of the trucks, like,
it's not normal. It's not normal.
Normal is not even like
considered in the equation. Yeah.
This extraordinary, like, wow. And what I mean by that is, on the trucks they had like platforms that would go down, and you have a changing room on that side, and you have a thing on this side, and on the truck they have live band. They have like 3 different bands set up. Wow. There's a whole camera crew, sound crew, confettis, lights, everything on a truck, on this float. Double decker, right? But then they have like a balcony part on the float where they put extension on the side there and an extension on it. Listen, and then screens right around. So as if you go to a carnival or if you go to a concert and the cameraman recording the artist on live and you see it on the screen, they have screens around the truck. So what's happening on the truck, you seeing it are amazing. One of the most, like, I couldn't believe. But again, for me, what was special is the cooking moment. So before I arrived, now these people didn't really know me. They heard about me, but they don't really know.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Oh, we're not sure how much songs we want him to sing." And this is the musical director for the show.
Yeah.
When I reached there now and the DJ set up and had some dancers there, so some models who was in costume, and watch now, when your boy starts rehearsal, all I started to see is phone lights. The whole team. The people from over there now, they record and I just go into track and they're watching each other like, wow.
What's going on here? Yeah.
What's going on?
The energy up there.
This guy, he's good. Like, this is, how much songs you doing? 5, 6? That how they start. So before it was like, what is he gonna do? Is it gonna be okay? Yeah. To how much you can do? 5, 6, 7? Yeah. Amazing. One of the best trips I've ever been on. Best experience. Carnival-wise, one of the best experience I have ever experienced in my life. From music, to vibe, to food, to culture, how rich the culture is and the music. It's amazing.
So that is among
one of my best experiences. I wouldn't say achievements, but I would say experiences.
Experiences. Where you are now as an artist, where you think you are? You at a comfortable place?
I'm never comfortable. I'm never still. Comfortable comes with complacency and being, content. I'm not I'm always on rest because I always think, what next can I do? And you know, one of my most recent things that I'm proud of is, so there's a festival over here called City Splash.
Yeah, that is a major one.
And City Splash, I've been watching it over the years. And about 2 years ago, a certain DJ in BBC said to me, Joocie, we tell them about you. And I don't go by, we tell them and hear say.
You know, there's the problem I have with you. Why you can't call Shawnee B name? What this is uncensored.
So my boy Shawnee B.
Yeah.
And I bun him out for him.
Big up to Shawnee B. We'll make your first trip to Trinidad. And Shawnee went to Trinidad while you were in Brazil.
Imagine that, eh?
Yeah.
But I'll even give it the joke with that too.
Yeah.
Shawnee B.
Yeah.
For years. So there's a guy called Ray Paul. He's one of my mentors.
Yeah.
And I met Ray Paul when we did the Carlo Festival.
Yeah.
He was the stage manager.
Yeah.
And ever since that year, we have been in contact, and I'll go and speak to him because he's deep in the industry. He's one of the most influential people for music over here.
Yeah.
From One Extra to creating One Extra and all these different.
Yeah.
And I'll go to him as a mentor and, you know, play music and tell him, and he always give me advice. And Shawnee B was somebody he introduced me to. And Shawnee was like, hey, you should try this and try that. And like over the years.
Yeah.
And with Bottle Overhead, he called me. I remember we said I sent it up late in November, eh? Remember I said November, eh?
Yeah.
Shawnee B called me in February the following year when Bottle Overhead come out in Carnival time.
Yeah.
Yo, Joocie, I choose me here, you're the biggest tune in Trinidad, you know. Me need a dub plate. I say, yo, Shawnee, because you don't pay attention to small artists and you're only studying running down certain people. Check your email now, boy. He said, what? I said, check your email. You calling me February, November, December, January, for 4 months later. I said, check your email. You don't have your dub plate in this since November. Shawnee gets silent. One time, he can't believe.
Yeah.
And again, this is testament to why I say it's important to always stay grounded. And it's so funny that the people who wanted it, it was already there that could help to push it then to make it a mark. Because with Shawnee B's support and other DJs on One Extra, Bottle Overhead was the first soca tune to playlist for over 6 weeks outside of Carnival. I got a plaque for that on One Extra.
On One Extra. Congratulations.
Bottle Overhead is the first soca track to be playlisted on BBC's One Extra playlist.
And for those who don't know, playlisted means that you have to play it. Every DJ turns up, it's in their show.
It have to
be
play.
played.
And this is outside. I'm not talking about our Carnival or when it hot.
Yeah.
For 6 weeks.
Which is an achievement, isn't it?
Which is a huge achievement. A huge achievement. You know? So fast forward then. So that was the Bottle Overhead with Shawnee B. Now come with this City Splash now. He come and he tell me, boy, them ask me, I think. I say, yeah, wherever, Shawnee, wherever. Cool. I end up having a conversation. I went to see one of my favorite artists, Capleton, as I mentioned. He was over here last year. And I kept saying, you know, this City Splash, they're talking about is the most inclusive festival of black culture. But you didn't have soca. You have girls in Carnival costume on stage, but you might play one or two soca, and but you have live artists from every genre, but no soca.
Artists,
So I said to them, you can't call yourself inclusive of everything and you're not representing soca. So they had to make it their business to put me on the lineup as the first soca artist to be singing at City Splash Festival, and I'm doing it this year, 2024.
Congratulations.
The 27th of May 2024, I will be on one of the big stages, because they have multiple. I'm on one of the big stages doing a set where I'm going to bring the culture.
Bring it to the
authentic soca. And so not just certain songs that people know, but I am presenting myself, but also by extension, soca music in this festival.
That's the 27th of May. So
27th of May.
People need to get down there.
Yeah,
get
they need
the
to
tickets,
come.
get online, get the tickets.
Yeah.
In regards to how music is being distributed now, I have some pet peeves because I try to understand as creative, how do you all regain your investment? We no longer have CDs. Vinyl is doing a resurgent, is coming back in some places, and we have a little bit of CDs here. Everything is sort of digital, online. How you feel about what's happening in regards to distribution of music as it is now? Because you can't go and physically buy a CD, you can't physically buy a record. Everything is online, so you have to go through one of these digital platform portals to get your music out there. How do you feel about that? Or you're just happy with the change?
I guess I have kind of mixed feelings. So one, I definitely think that it's accessible, I guess, on a global scale when it's online, digitally, when it's at DSP, one of these digital streaming platforms. But I definitely think that because those other areas is kind of shifted from, I still think we can pay attention to it too. I don't know if people have CD players in the house anymore. You know what I mean? Because everything is so online. So I think what we have to think about that is very creative but can also be time consuming is that, I'll put it this way: if I create a music video, normally our video will be about 3 minutes 27, 3 minutes 30. Nowadays, people's consumption time is 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So you have to take something from 3 minutes something and condense it,
all what you have in your head, and bring it down to
into 10
to minimum.
To minimum.
Yeah.
To get the maximum attention, which is in. So I think whereas we don't have CDs and things no more, there's other ways of capturing the attention of people, but in different ways. You know what I mean? So like you have YouTube Shorts. Which is like, it's like a feed essentially. It's like a
I think
story.
people are buying into that a lot, and I've seen that for myself.
So it's like a snapshot, but then it's how you do it is you take the most controversial thing and put it on there, and to get people attention. You know what I mean? And then
attention grabbers.
So yeah.
Now what I see is a lot of blasts coming out, and I wonder how, when a blast come out from an artist, I kind of check the numbers. How much of that can the artist really absorb? Because when you put a blast out, and this is no disrespect to Lee or Julian, a lot of that is going out there freely. And where you used to be selling a CD, where you would get your numbers to put back, because obviously to produce a song, it has a level of expense. How could artists sustain that in this time? And do you think that the whole setup needs to change somewhat?
I think what tends to happen is, you see around Trinidad Carnival time especially, it can be seen as spamming when you have 10 songs or 20 songs, 30 songs blasted in a day. Eventually you start to go in your junk because it's the same thing, the same email address, but it's multiple. I think the blast helps. I think it's all down to timing. Like a time like now where there's not much releases or anything happening, it's crucial for you to blast now because people are eager for new music. I think it's about picking the times when to blast. I think blasting is good because it's a mail out, meaning that even if they don't pay attention to it then, if they was to go back and look, it's there. So it's better to have than not to have at all. I think it's good in that sense. But I think
but there's a loss. What I'm saying is that I'm looking at the financial side of it, because when you put out a blast, you and some of these platforms will say they have 50,000 email address. You have generally a song on one of these streaming platforms might be $1. That's $1 US. If you have sent your song to 50,000 people at $1, that's $50,000. That's gone down the drain.
Yeah.
And you still have to pay. I know this topic is a bit controversial somehow. You still have to pay. So although I understand you say blasting is a good thing, should the industry now start to look at it and say, look at, if you have a blast will be to promote, but not the person doesn't get the content of the music. You have a snippet
Yeah.
like a 30-second snippet, but it will point them to the streaming platform. And then you have another blast, which will be a meaningful blast because you want to reach execs at stations, at radio station, program directors.
So I from what I'm getting is, so there's two things. One, the blast isn't really going to the consumer, it's going to your colleagues within the industry to help to promote the song.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So when you blast, essentially, it's not to fans. You're blasting. Your blast to fans would be to direct them to the DSPs to go and stream it. But when you're blasting from people like Julians, it's not to fans. The Julians don't blast to fans. They will blast. Essentially, they're supposed to be blasting to DJs, to promoters, to anybody who's going to help
industry
personnel, industry influence. Yeah. So I think that's important. Now, a lot of artists, what they tend to do is, so for instance, like Bottle Overhead, and sorry to keep using as an example, but it's like, put it this way, Bottle Overhead, the video on Julian, because Julian platform is big, the numbers looks good, attractive. Anybody who sees those numbers now, it's like, wow, they hit the numbers, they gravitate to numbers. Now within Julian's, within the bio or the description of the song, you would then have the links for DSP. So if people watch the song and they want to say, okay, let me stream this or let me support it, then they can click the link. So it's about effectively utilizing that marketing to benefit from it.
To bill
yourself.
To bill yourself.
And the more pages that have your song on YouTube or whatever, it's easy accessible for people to then go and get it. You understand what I mean? So it works in that way.
It works in that way. Now, you are very active on social media, and we talk about Snapchat, we talk about Instagram, who are primarily the source of a specific age group. How time-consuming is that for someone like yourself?
A lot. Because I don't have
someone.
I don't have a social media manager, no. Because again, it's like that whole. To me, it's about. Remember, I built this from scratch. Now we on 12,700, and who in, and to me, numbers mean nothing, yeah. But when you think about the bigger picture, if every person on my social media was to come to my venue, it's sold out. 12.7 thousand people. 12,707 people, right? As you say, if each person was to do one poem
or buy a song,
or buy a song, you know, when I post things, I might get interaction 6,000, 10,000. Now, some people might say, but that's small numbers, but when you're doing it from a so-called niche genre, with no sort of backing, this proves
what could happen.
If you have the investment. So for me now, it's
so you're saying your impressions when you do a post.
Yeah.
And for those who don't understand what the impressions is, it's basically people who will actually sort of like view or take a look at what you're doing. That doesn't necessarily like. So the impressions is different to the like. So let me be very and this is some of the things that people need to understand.
Yeah.
You might only see 5 likes. Yeah. But your impression could be 3,000.
Yeah. But then what you tend to have as well is to and I see it a lot, is that like daily, for instance, to some people, like I'm saying daily between 6 to 10,000 people are viewing my page daily. That number changes. You understand? Daily. So for me, it's important to keep active, to keep posting things. Sometimes it might not even be music. It might be memes or Caribbean related or something jokey or something that I find interesting, because I believe that my social media should be an extension of who I am in a different capacity. So yes, it's my CV. My Instagram is a CV of work or a frame of work that I've done over the years. You understand? But then my stories is kind of like you're watching a TV. You might come across that program.
It's like one of those reality show, basically.
It's a reality show, and it's like, what is Joocie engaging with? What does Joocie do? Without saying, this is what I do, guys. Is what Joocie into? So I might post something with a musician in Spain who playing some chords and singing and that might inspire me.
Like your recent stories, Union Island. You must have had a hell of a time. You didn't want to come back home, did you?
When I get back on that plane, the ice had a cough, my throat had a hurt. I said, but what's going on? Just listen, Union was amazing. The people of, they say I'm a Unionite.
Yeah, you're officially.
I will say to
all thanks to Wetty, innit?
Thanks to Wetty,
All
my
thanks
brother.
to Wetty.
My
Cheers.
brother,
Yeah.
and I have to say this, yeah? Going to places like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Union Island, it actually, it is like,
It's a humbling.
what I was saying, yeah, but it is reignite your love for we people, boy, and confidence in we people. And I say that because going back home at times, sometimes could be more stressful than excitement.
Yeah.
And I mean that because, you know, of the circumstances of people, of just the mood, the hustle and bustle, the stress, you know, the demands.
And everything else that comes with it.
And everything that
comes
comes
with it. And we're talking
with
about specifically Trinidad and Tobago.
You know, in Trinidad.
And what is
right?
the norm, seem to be the norm now.
Which
is not good to be a norm anyway.
It's not good, you know. And then I go to a place like St. Vincent and just like going through immigration, man, and they're so welcoming, and it's like, you know, it reignites that passion for, like, every place I go to other than home, I get love. You know what I mean? And these people, this woman make me laugh, and she say, "You see when you're going, I wait to hurry up and go so you can come back quick." You know what I mean? And it's like being there and
the love,
boy.
The
and
love.
sometimes as artists, I guess I could speak for myself.
Yeah.
You know, some people might say, but they might hear that and think, but he turn it back, he forget. No, it's not that. Sometimes we have to look at how we treat our own.
Yeah.
You know, and when we have people who are championing our culture and who is not home, the struggles is different. Your artists who are home, they have a different struggle to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Certainly.
out here. I don't have the support of others. I am holding it by myself. You understand what I mean? Like, and when I say I'm holding it by myself, I am carrying a genre, a culture, a movement. As a soca artist, as a Caribbean artist, for soca that represents soca and in Europe.
Yeah.
I am carrying it. I'm not the only one, but I'm carrying it to
at the
places
standard.
at the highest standard.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years consecutively, without fail. You know, like I did last year. You know, my concert in the theater. Soca in a theater.
And I was actually coming to that because I remember your first attempt of doing your own concert, and which was really brave of you.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that kind of setup as far as London or Notting Hill Carnival is concerned. It was your first attempt. That was a success in itself of actually executing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything else, it was your first, so not a lot of people know of. But then you were daring enough to push the boundary again and say, you know what? It is not about my people, but it's about the people out there.
Yeah.
So you're not selling ice to the Eskimos.
Yeah.
You now want to sell it to the world.
Yeah.
And you took that next step. How was that? What was the thought process?
It was sold out.
But what was the thought process? I know it was sold out because remember, unfortunately,
you couldn't make anything for me, and you call me and you said, Joocie, and you've always been like that, yeah? But it proves that, you know, like once you believe in your craft and you hone into your craft and you work hard and you continue to do what you're doing, you know, it people buy into it, you know, and I'm not gonna sit here and say it's been a bed of roses. This is not. It's been hard. It's been hard, especially when you do it without investment. You do it without sponsors. You're doing it off your back and your hustle.
But it was a grand affair.
You know, it was a grand, and it doesn't have to, because you may not have resources. It don't have to look resourceless. You understand what I'm saying? You had. To me, it has to be of the highest standard, and that segues on to me saying even to like one of the things that I want to start speaking about and highlighting is that the lack of funding and support, or even awareness of it. You know,
Okay.
I'm hearing of it, but then when you go to these bodies, sometimes as an artist, you don't know how to apply to it. You don't know how, because you know they have particular format, how they like certain things, and I
Yeah.
definitely believe like that's something I'm advocating for now, you know, like the Arts Council funding and the PRS funding and all these different types of entities, is how do we access it as artists?
You know, we can talk, and I know you are willing to have the conversation and talk about the real things that's taking place. But we're at a stage now where the transformation is taking place, and we believe that, or we suspect that new things are happening for you musically. And from the time we started talking, I was very excited, and I was wondering when we're going to get there. Are we going to get any little previews of what really going to be taking place for 2025 and the 2024? Are you willing to go? Because I saw you walk with your laptop and I wasn't sure.
Oh, you want to hear a thing, exclusive thing? Of course.
I'm not sure what was
Of
really
course,
going
we
on.
have
because
plenty things like, as I said, I'm an artist, so I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing in the background. So written for artists, I've done voiceover for an animated movie for Lionsgate. That we never released. Yeah. I will show you that. I'll show you that. I'm writing. I've completed an EP, so I'm looking to release an EP this year.
And also not you're looking to put that out.
So we're looking at before June. We're looking to put something. Well, at least that. I don't want to put the whole works out and it doesn't get the attention. So I think I might do track by track, roll out of track by track. Because then it's going to show you a different side to Joocie. I'm more, I would say I'm tapping into moods, feelings.
So if you put out a track as an artist and it's getting that buzz, and as you say, you have an EP which is 5 songs sitting there, what happens with the other songs if the first song you put out is getting the buzz? Do you sit on the other songs and just keep billing on the song that is already taken off? What do you do? How do you do it?
Hopefully this year I start working with some some personnel who can help to guide that, because again, within the industry, a song you're meant to work it up for 6 weeks, and then after, like, there's a rollout process. I have never been able to experience a proper rollout of a project. I've never released an album as such.
Yeah.
So this will be the first of a kind, you know what I mean?
Which is getting close to an album, an EP basically.
Yeah, which is close. But I think each song would hold its own. I want you to.
Let me get this.
You know what? You authentic.